Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for hitting that play button for another episode of the Heady Coleman Podcast. This is actually episode 107, and I'm pretty pumped about doing 107 episodes. I remember when I couldn't wait to get to 100. Now I've got to 100. Now I'm at 107. Now I can't wait to get to 200, right? And so if this is your first time listening or watching, I work to provide content to help people discover what are the right things they need to be consistent in order to achieve the wins for their life so they can live out their greatest story. And that's hence where I come up with Go Win. And I use the hashtag all the time, hashtag Go Win, just to encourage people to keep moving forward. Everybody knows what it means to go. Everybody knows what it means to win. It automatically gives you this vision of winning, crossing the finish line. And so in that, I hope to be able to do a couple of things with my content. One, help people discover those right things that they need to be consistent in, but also maybe help you define what your win is. Because if you don't define your win, then how do you really know what are the right things to be consistent in if you don't have a win already? Now, I do talk about, one of the things I do with my workshop is that I talk about the go-in approach. And these are right things that I think everybody should be consistent in order to just live out your greatest life, just to live out your greatest story. Be consistent in doing these things. One of those things is just being kind to people. Everybody should be consistent in being kind to people because it would definitely just allow for you to live out your greatest story. And oftentimes I take my content from my blog, BLOG, because sometimes I don't say words very clearly, my blog, and then I kind of share that with you via the audio podcast, or if you're watching me right now, you're literally watching me on YouTube. You watch it this way. But sometimes I know, like when I watch YouTube, I almost treat it like a podcast. I'll just sit it down and just be listening to the person, unless it's something that I know I need to see visually. Like, you really don't need to see me right now to listen to me, but you may use YouTube to do that, not podcast. So anyway, I have my blog at headycoleman.com. Then I have the YouTube. Then I have the podcast. And oftentimes it's all the same content, except I recently started doing hashtag moment of kindness, where I share different moments of people being kind to me or people that I've seen just out there in the world being kind. So just a little bit of my content that I provide you all, and kind of what I really focus on is really helping people define their win and then discovering those right things. So my blog is one way that I provide content, but then also doing Go Win conversations, just sitting down with people and asking them questions, having a conversation with them. I hope from that you can learn not just about them, but learn from them. You're inspired, and then you connect with them, all in the hopes of this discovery and then defining, discover, define the win, discover the right things to be consistent in. One of my things that I've defined for myself is that I want to be a better leader. Now, another thing about winning doesn't mean that I'm always crossing the finish line first. A win for me is that I'm just always working on being a better leader. So I've defined that for myself as a win. And so there's never really this I have arrived moment, but just always getting better. Same with my marriage. Like, I just want a great marriage. So that's an ongoing thing, always working at that. But that's a win that I've defined for myself. Today, I want to talk about being a better leader. And I define a leader is someone who has influence on people. You can influence people's lives for the good or for the worse, for the better or for worse. You can influence people's lives. And also, a leader is someone who has influence, but leadership is all about serving people. Leadership is about serving people. And in your serving, you create influence in people's lives. And I only want that influence to continue to serve people in order to move them towards the win for their own personal lives or within an organization. So if I have a team of people, I want to be able to serve them, to continue to have influence in order to move them forward towards whatever our championship is, whatever we can become champions in doing that. One of the ways that I become a better leader that I believe allows for me to be a better leader is listening. That's it. One of the things I want to consistently do is listen. One of the things I want to get better at is listening to the people that I serve. Because in listening, what I learned maybe is that maybe I have them on the wrong seat on the bus. Maybe they need to be playing a different position. Another thing that I learned is maybe how to serve them in that, not just as part of the team, but maybe even outside of being on the team, maybe just in life. I learned from listening. And listening is this. Listening, it means to pay attention to someone with my ears, my eyes, and my heart. So when somebody's talking to me, that's how I pay attention to them. And in that, I learn how to serve them better. Listening. I want to be consistent in listening. I can truly serve someone without listening to her first, so I can know how to best serve her in her role. So can I truly serve someone without listening to her first, to them first, to him first, so I can know how to best serve her in her role? So I gotta be able to listen. Can I truly serve someone without listening? So that's it for today. My win is to be a better leader. One thing that I have to be consistent in, one right thing that I definitely have to be consistent in, there's more, but the one that I'm sharing today is just listening. Listening to folks. Go pay attention with your ears, with your eyes, and with your heart so you can serve people that much better. And I'm glad I'm reading this. I haven't published it, but I'm just trying to make sure that I'm saying this right. Can I truly serve someone without listening to her first, so then I can know how to best serve her in her role? Yep, that's it. So that's it. So question of the day, question of the moment, question now that I want to ask you: what other right things should a leader be consistent in to be the best leader possible? So what are some other right things that you say you need to be consistent in this to be the best leader possible? Okay. Thank you again for hitting that play button, ladies and gentlemen. And as always, go win.